The Canadian military has temporarily removed the commanding officer of the Cameron Highlanders from his post. Now, this comes after the military discovered a Facebook group that contains, quote, abhorrent content. CBC's Catherine Tunney is following that story for us. So, Catherine, what can you tell us?
Yeah, well, Natasha, the Canadian Army said it was going to take this case seriously, and it appears to be doing so. As you said, the head of the Cameron Highlanders, that's a reserve infantry regiment well known here in Ottawa, is out at least temporarily as the Army continues its investigation into this now infamous Facebook group called the Blue Hackle Mafia. And actually, just this morning, the Armed Forces confirmed that Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Hendy is the commanding officer in question. So he's out while this investigation continues. And an interperson will be coming in to take care of the unit. They're investigating this Facebook group, which we've learned had racist, misogynistic, homophobic, and anti-Semitic comments in the Facebook group. All of that is under investigation. As you said, that the head of the Army has had some pretty strong words when he was presented what was on this Facebook group, called it abhorrent, said he was disgusted by it. There's lots of questions about who knew what when complaints were initially lodged about this Facebook group. But we know in a post that the head of the Army announcing this change to the Cameron Highlanders this week said, this has damaged the reputation of the Canadian Army at a time when it's trying to modernize and appear more relevant. July has been a bit of a PR nightmare, to be frank, for the Canadian Armed Forces. Of course, we have this story that broke earlier this month. And then just last week, the RCMP laid charges against 4 men, 2 of them being Canadian Armed Forces members and one being a former member, accused of being part of an extremist plot. That's what the allegations say. Not everyone's going to say that those are these are on the same level, but clearly here we are again talking about these serious allegations. And I know that the head of the Army and the Defense Minister are very keen to move, turn the page and not talk about these stories. Or they don't want to talk about these stories, I should say, and concentrate instead on all the other things the Canadian Armed Forces are. But again, here we are talking about these serious allegations. So lots will be watched about where this investigation goes and how leadership does respond to what the investigation comes up with. But again, some movement today or this week, I should say, where they've removed the commanding officer as this investigation continues.
Okay, CBC's Catherine Tunney in Ottawa. Thank you, Catherine.